Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video by Aviation Master 100. Today, I'll be looking at the Special Mission Aircraft of the U.S. military. And by the way, guys, I'll be looking at older. Some of these aircraft aren't in the U.S. military anymore, but I'll still be looking at them. Just to let you guys know. By the way, this video will be about special mission aircraft, such as like the Doomsday plane, E4, AWACS, Joint Stars, Rivet Joint, some of those airplanes in this mission, in this video. Let's get started. So first up, we have, the VC or EC-18. This is a modified, wait a minute. This is a C-137, or a VC-137, this is a presidential aircraft. As you can see, it has, this was actually the old paint job with a little bit of red in the blue, until they decided to change it. And then this is the EC-18, and as you can see, this has a strange looking nose and like a weird looking radar on top. And this was actually this was actually used for tracking the Apollo missions. I think it had something to do with the Apollo missions. I'm not too sure, but I know it had something to do with those. So, yeah. And then we have the U-2 spy plane. These are still in U.S. inventory, except they are now called the TR-2s and U-2Ss. Like they've completely changed the name. But they have a bigger airframe itself, bigger engine, and usually you'll see like fuel tanks on the middle part of the wing, but in this picture, just you don't see them. But then next up we have the E-2 Hawkeye, and this is basically the Navy's airborne early warning and control aircraft. Small enough to fit on a carrier, but has a big radar dome on top of it. That's what that UFO looking thing is. Sorry about that. Yeah, to kind of track enemy aircraft and alert our guys, or our fighter pilots, when and where and how fast the enemy aircraft is moving. Oh, and what type it is. So next, on our list we have the EA-6 Prowler, and I think these are about to be retired from the Marines. The Marines are still using them, but not for very long. I think in like early 2019 they were going to retire them, and so it's not too long from now. And by the way, this was just a modified A6. As you can see, it has a second cockpit for the radar operators. And the mission of this aircraft was to jam radars and clear our guys so their missiles cannot track onto our fighter planes and bombers. So yeah. And then next up we have the General Dynamics EF-111A or EF-111 Raven, and this was just a modified F-111, but this had, as you can see, it had a radar dome, same type as you can see on the EA-6, to also jam radars. So it is basically the Air Force EA-6, and it was just a modified F-111. As you can see, they have another big radar on there, or a jamming pod too on there, and they also could arm both of these with HARM missiles to shoot at the radars, so to definitely be sure that they won't be able to work again. And then this aircraft that you see right here is a C9, and this is for VIP transport. It is basically just a modified DC-9 for military use. I think they retired those, and here's actually like a medical one that's kind of neat with that cross on the tail. And the next up we probably have the most important aircraft on this list. This is the Doomsday plane, as much referred to, or the E4. It is a heavily modified Boeing 747 is one of the most expensive military aircraft I think ever built, and you can see that's like it's like basically a flying White House, in case something the unspeakable happens, doomsday, which is I'm sure many of you know as the end of the world, or when World War III, when everyone shoots their nukes at each other. Don't mean to get all dark like that and everything, but it probably won't happen. But just in case it does, we have this bad boy, and I think there's like 4 in service today. But yeah, just in case it ever happens, I know it probably won't. But just in case, we always have to be prepared. We have these, the Boeing E4. And then, as you can see, pretty iconic paint job. It looks similar to the VC-25, which is just a presidential Boeing 747. And then next up we have, not a lot of people know about this one, but this is the Y03. This is a Q-Star. This was has sensors on it, and its mission was to build, or it was built to so it has sensors on it. It was built to fly quietly and stealthy, to hunt down like Vietnamese and stuff. I think it had to and it could fly at low altitude, patrolling, stealthy, being very quiet, so they can't hear it. And it can fly very quietly, as I said before. Long wings, 2-seater right there. One for the pilot, I guess, and one for the radar operator, something like sensors or something. The next up we have the iconic AWACS. This is basically the Air Force Early Airborne Warning and Control, used by NATO and the U.S. Air Force. You can see that big radar dome, or not dome, like dish, that UFO looking thing on it. Yeah. Then just thought you guys might see just another neat picture of the E4 or VC-25. And I think actually I have a few more actually right on this list. Wait a minute, sorry about that. I'm working on getting better content. Yeah, here it is. So this is a C-12/U-21 King Air. That is a presidential. The VC-12 is like a presidential King Air. And then, as you can see, all this stuff on this King Air, that is for listening, or I'm sorry, that probably shouldn't be saying that. It's like classified stuff, but I'm not giving away any government information. That's just what they tell us, and I'm sure most of that stuff classified, but I think that's for like listening and recon purposes. And then, as I said before, this was my intro picture. This is a rivet joint aircraft, a modified Boeing 707. As you can see, it still has the old engines on it, so it is not very fuel efficient, but I mean, you don't really care, because it's funded by the government. And then this is the E6 Mercury, and this is a 707, heavily modified, and it has new engines on it, and I guess you can kind of look at this as the Navy doomsday plane. Sorry to get all dark again, but just in case, you have to have something, everything just in case. Always good to be prepared, and so as you can look at this as like the Navy doomsday plane for ships and stuff like that. I think we have one more, and yeah, we have the Boeing or Northrop Grumman E8 joint stars. These are basically the AWACS for ground purposes. So as you can think of this like the AWACS for soldiers or something like that. And so that is it for this list. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Tell all your friends, fellow aviation enthusiasts, history buffs, and everyone like that. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.